in chapter 7, we see that the completion of the tabernacle and the inauguration in 1512 BCE. During 12 days, each one of those days, a chieftain of the Israelites, or one of the heads of the families of the Israelites, would present a non-competitive offering of silver and gold dishware. Now, the silver and gold dishware had a pretty high value, pretty much a week's wage. So you can imagine that. In our dollar terms, inside on the scriptures, it brings out that it's around $1,720. This is just for the dishes. Then there was offerings of grain, livestock, and incense. So there's no doubt that there was a lot of work that went into this preparation, these offerings. If you open your Bible to Numbers chapter 7, verses 84 through 88, we're going to read that. Helps us to appreciate just what went into this. 84 says, "This was the inauguration offering of the altar from the chieftains of Israel when it was anointed. There was 12 silver dishes, 12 silver bowls, 12 gold cups, each silver dish weighing 130 shekels, and each bowl weighing 70 shekels. All the silver of the vessels amounting to 2,400 shekels by the standard shekel of the holy place. The 12 gold cups full of incense, each weighed 10 shekels by the standard shekel of the holy place. All the gold of the cups amounting to 120 shekels. All the cattle for the burnt offering were 12 bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs, each a year old, and their grain offerings, and 12 young goats for a sin offering. So all the cattle of the communion sacrifice amounted to 24 bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 male lambs, each a year old. This was the inauguration offering of the altar after it was anointed." Can you imagine how much time and energy and effort that would take to raise this livestock? Not to mention the time it would take to work for your money on the side. So this is a lot of work that went into it. So what's the word again? Obedience. That's what we're capitalizing on. In chapter 9, it discusses the Passover observance. Here's another point of obedience. In Numbers 9:11, it was talking about how they would not only eat roasted lamb and unleavened bread. That's pretty good. No problem there. But then they would eat bitter greens. Some of the kids might not like that. But the Insight on the Scriptures book in volume 1, page 320, mentions that the bitter greens may have served a purpose in reminding them of the bitterness of the Egyptian bondage that they had. So there's even a purpose in that. Chapter 9 also discusses the assembly of Israelites given instruction about setting up and breaking camp. More work to do. In the same way that he had directed Israelites moving out of Egypt in Numbers 9:15, Jehovah continued to lead the nation in its travel by a cloud that covers the tabernacle by day and by the appearance of fire by night. So when the cloud remained over the tabernacle, the nations would remain encamped. And whether it was for a few days or a month or longer, the nations would stay there until Jehovah told them or showed them to leave. So they kept their obligation to Jehovah by means of Moses. So in final Exodus chapter 24, Moses says in verse 7, "Finally he took the book of the covenant and he read this book to the covenant to the Israelites." And what did they say in regards to obedience? They said, "All that Jehovah has spoken, we are willing to do and be obedient." So this was one point that I really appreciated from the Bible highlights, and now it's your turn to share your comments, your thoughts. Brother Easterly.